All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Full Frontal Investigation. I will be your host, you a pussy, Rich Holmes. And today, change of scenery, guys. Obviously, I'm in a bee suit. Take a walk out to the bee yard today, and kind of give you guys an outside look of what I do in my spare time. Also, for some of you guys that are new to the channel, I do keep bees on the side. It's easier said than done. So if anybody tells you beekeeping is easy, they're full of shit. And so what I got to do today, I got one colony I got to go through, which is Africanized. Okay, they're mean. They always have been from day one. From day one that I've worked these bees, they were mean. Always have been, and probably always will be. So I got to go in there. I'm just gonna give them a check, see how they're doing. Probably add a box to them. I'll probably add a box to them, and then I got to break down a couple other boxes that I had some dead outs in. I had one colony. I lost one colony. It was very small. There really was no chance for it. I did what I could with it, and that's part of beekeeping, especially here in Texas. I always thought it would be easy to keep bees in Texas, right? Because of the weather. Boy, was I wrong. It's very tough to keep bees in Texas, especially where I'm at. You got to worry about drought. You got to worry about rain. If we don't get rain, guess what? We don't get pollen. We don't get flowers. We don't get nectar. We don't get all the resources that the bees need. The bees needs, right? The bees need. One thing that Texas relies on for rain is hurricanes. So if we don't have hurricanes during certain seasons, like right now, we don't get good hurricanes. Guess what? It stays dry as fuck here. Then we have to feed all season, right? Which is, it costs money. It costs money to feed, right? Because there is supplemental feed that you give your bees, which I'm going to put on them right now, because right now we're actually in a dearth and the bees will starve to death. So I need to go on. I got to put feed on them, and I'll show everybody what the feed looks like here in a minute. I got to get this going though, get my smoker going. So I got some pollen supplement already chopped up. I got to break down a couple other boxes real quick, and I'm probably going to use those resources to give to my other bees so it doesn't take them so long to stack up for the summer. Because these Africanized bees, man, these girls are badass, man. These girls are badass, and I don't want to lose the genetics because of that. A lot of people don't like working Africanized bees. Me, I don't really give a shit. I don't care. They do just as much work, if not more. That's kind of a saying among beekeepers. Africanized are the best producers, and they're hard workers, man. The Africanized, they don't mess around, man. They really, really don't. They don't screw around. They go in, they get the job done. So had a little bit of trouble with my smoker here, so give me a second here. Smokers can be a bit of a pain in the ass to light. What I got here is a mix of burlap and cedar, just to mask the pheromone of these girls, because like I said, these girls are mean. And we're right in that time of season where they could either be real pissy or they could be real gentle, and I just don't want to take any chances, really. Because once I got these girls beefed up, I was telling everybody about it the other day. They were in a pretty dire situation, but once I gave them healthy space to move and make more make more foundation or make more wax and rear more young, it was only a matter of weeks before they were a full box of bees. And when I went in and worked them the second time, yep, they let me know how strong they were. Typically bees typically won't attack if they have small numbers. Now what you're trying to do with this here too is you don't want it to catch fire. You want it to smolder real good. So let's see if we can get this going here. Be a bit of a pain in the butt. I might just pull the burlap out and just use the cedar. But burlap, it puts out a real good smoke, so The smoke doesn't confuse them. It just masks the alarm pheromone, but only for a little bit. These bees, if the alarm pheromone goes off, there's nothing you can do. No smoke is going to mask an alarm pheromone. You could try as much as you want, and it's what's real interesting about the alarm pheromone is you can actually smell it. You could smell the scent of the air change. It's like a sweet, earthy, musty smell. All it takes is one bee to set it off, and then the rest of the bees fan it around, and then just the rest of the bees blow up. So that's typically how it goes. I think we just about got it going here. I want to get a nice, good, healthy smoke going here. Make sure it's not hot, blowing hot air. Like I said, this is probably one of the most tedious parts of fucking beekeeping right here, is trying to get your smoker going. Because I've gone out without my smoker, and you don't want to do that. Let me go and pull this out. I'll just use the cedar. So it's cedar strips, basically, just a bunch of cedar rolled up in a ball. Cedar works pretty good too, so any kind of organic will work. You don't want it to burn hot. That's the thing. Bark, pine shavings. You could get like the pine shavings from your pet store. That'll work. We don't use newspaper. Cedar. If you got cedar, there's abundance of it here in Texas. We use cedar strips here. That's what I do. I got a bunch of cedars in my yard. I go peel strips off the trees, and it's pretty much an endless supply of smoker fuel for my beekeeping. So I don't ever buy smoker fuel ever. If I ever need smoker fuel, I could just go to one of my neighbors and ask them if I could start peeling cedar bark off their tree, and be like, yeah, go ahead, I don't give a shit. Abundance of it here anyways. So okay, cedar works a lot better. See, and again, you don't want it to catch fire, because then it's blowing hot. Then you're blowing hot air, and you don't want that. So want to make sure you get a nice smoke going. Like I said, it must have been the burlap holding it up for sure. Yeah, see. All right, that's what you want right there. All right. Brought my gloves out. Okay. All right, so even before I approach my bee yard, I get suited up all the way. Because once they feel you coming, they, again, it's that time of season right now where they can be real shitty or they can just be real docile. But with these, in Texas, you don't ever work your bees without a suit. I don't anyways. I won't, never will. Stupid. What happens with bees is the venom, right? The bee sting. Your body doesn't process out the bee venom like it would, like another toxin, right? You know how when you say get stung or you get bit by like a snake, you start throwing up or you start having these reactions. It's your body's natural reaction to get rid of the toxins, right? Well, bee venom doesn't do that. It doesn't happen with bee venom. It stays in your body. It's very, very dangerous, especially for people who are diabetic. And I need to get these gloves fixed because I see a chink in the armor. See that right there? That right there? That's a chink in the armor. That's a problem. So I was just looking at all my gear, and I need to go in and I need to see all these little things right here? Chink in the armor, no good. I'll be okay for today, but I need to get new gloves. So that's part of beekeeping, maintenance your gear, your equipment, making sure all your stuff is good. Because if there's a hole, the bees will find it, I promise. And you're having a shitty day if a few bees get in your suit and you're out there working them. And in Texas, it gets a little hot. So you always want to keep that in mind. All right, I think we're good here. All right, here we go. Head on out to the bee yard here. All right. Already got all my stuff out here. All right, so here we are in the bee yard. Now, what happened here, what I'm I'm gonna do today, I got 3 boxes here, okay? I got 3 boxes here. I got the one at the end, that's the live colony, that's the Africanized. This is the dead out. This one's a dead out here. So I gotta pull these 3 boxes. I'm gonna repaint them. I gotta scrape some wax off because there's like webs and shit. It's just kind of a disaster this season, man. It wasn't a good season. It hasn't been for the last couple of years just because bad weather, low resources. And I'll show you what happens when you get a dead out on a beehive. All right, so what happens when bees die, right? When they freeze, this is what happened when bees freeze. It's kind of hard to see right here, but last ditch effort right here. See these? They go into they go into the cell right here and they die. It's the last ditch effort before they die of freezing. We had some cold days, and honestly, I didn't have much hope for this colony anyway. So I knew they were kind of destitute. I was doing everything I could to keep them alive, but I kind of figured they weren't going to make it. So that's another part of beekeeping, is accepting the process, because you know what? Sometimes it doesn't always go your way. You're going to lose colonies beekeeping. I promise you that. Which is why I like Africanized colonies, because they're fucking badasses, man. They don't fuck around. So what I got here is good foundation that's been drawn already. So I'll resource this out to another box and give it to other bees. I'll give it to my Africanized colony over here. Give it to those girls, let them work in it, and give them some space to work. So one thing bees always need, always, space to work. Space, a lot of it. A bee can fill a box pretty fast. You'd be surprised. You get a nice big colony of bees, nice healthy working colony, shit, they'll fill a box up so fast. And these girls already know I'm here. They feel the vibrations, they know what I'm doing. They know I'm here to check on them. So I strap all my gear down just because of the weather. I don't want anything bad happening to my bees. So I'll show everybody here real quick what happened. All right. Kind of a sad sight, but I'm going to show everybody. So that's what happens when bees die. Kind of a bummer. Like I said, they were a small colony. I didn't think they were going to make it anyway. So ode to the bees. Do it better next time, right? This happens. This is part of the deal when beekeeping, man. It's never a guaranteed process, that's for sure. Let's see if I find the queen in here. Yeah, I don't see her anywhere. Yeah, they were too small. The colony was too small to sustain heat, so they died. They didn't make it. Understandable, and that's just the way it is. It happens. It happens. All right. All right. And these, if you're wondering why you can see through them, this is a screen bottom, okay? This is so, because in Texas it gets really fucking hot. Helps the bees with the heat. They don't beard out so much. All right. Let's take a peek here. All right. Pull this box right here. Like I said, I got to repaint some of these boxes here. They're just too dark. I got free paint from somewhere, and yeah, it's not good for them. This is a queen grate right here. It keeps the queen out from the top boxes. Top lid cover. This last thing you put on your box. So I'm just kind of throwing everything in the back of my truck right now, just for the hell of it, just so I can get it moved. So I'll show you guys what else comes along with beekeeping, if I could find. All right, that's not so bad. Oh, there it is, okay. It's gonna be kind of hard to see, but inside these cells, there's these little, let me see if I can get a good sight on this. All right, you see these little lines right here, everybody? This is what's called webworm or waxworm. Webworm. Okay, that's kind of a side effect of keeping bees. They leave these, they go inside right here. Okay, they go inside these cells. See all these little lines right here? It's gonna be hard to see just because it kind of blends in, but they go in and they eat through the cells. You see this big line right here? they go in and they'll eat through the cells and tear up the larva and shit. It's no good. No good. But what I'll do is I'll just scrape this off. I'll scrape all of it, and the bees will use whatever's there to rebuild the foundation. So I'll take a scraper. I'll show you guys how you do it. Beekeeping 101, this is how you get rid of this problem. One hive tool, right? And you scrape it just like that. Just like that. You scrape it down, bam. Scrape it down, scrape it down. Try to get rid of all that crap. That's that. That side's not too bad right here. So I'll take that, scrape that down, scrape that down, done. That's that. That's how you get rid of that. Simple. All right, so that's that one. Like I said, I'm pulling a lot of these boxes right now. Yeah. I'm gonna have to double check all these resources, and like I said, I'll resource out everything to this colony right here, which is a badass. This is the one, like out of all the colonies I've had, this is the one I'm scared of the most. She's a bitch. Again, I run all screen bottoms here. The smoke is really going up. It's not on fire. That's kind of how much smoke you want. That's good right there. All right, see. So I'm going to clean all these up, get them ready for this season. So what I'm going to do today is feed these girls right here, put some food on them. I'll show you what the pollen substitute looks like. So pollen substitute looks like, I don't know, it's almost like peanut butter consistency, a little bit thicker than peanut butter. I cut them in strips and lay them on top of the frames like this, right? So I'll lay them on top of the frames, right, like that, because we have these things in what are called small hive beetles in Texas, right? Okay, little fuckers, man. They fuck your colony up way bad. So what my beekeeping mentor taught me is, no, Rich, check this out. Instead of laying the whole pollen patty, right, lay it along the top like this, because now what beetles do is they come up through here and they'll get into the pollen patties to go after the pollen. But see, bees are defenders. They have to get past the bees to get to these pollen patties now. So my mentor told me, no, cut them on strips and bam, lay them down the length of the frame, Rich, and it should mitigate your hive beetle problem. So these are what pollen substitute looks like right here. This is a basic deep frame right here. See all the wax and the honeycomb. This has all been drawn out already. So I might get rid of that comb. I might have to get new frames for some of these. We'll see. We'll see. The bees weren't drawing out wax for some reason, so I might have to get new frames and swap them out. If the bees don't like the wax, they won't draw it out. Okay, so, all right. All right, so here we go with this. Like I said, we're gonna go ahead. Whoop. All right. Like I said, these girls, I don't know how big they are, how big they got over the season or anything. Oop. Fuck that one up. There we go. Okay. They already know I'm here. Okay. All right, so these are the Africanized colony right here. Like I said, it's gonna be kind of a basic check on these girls today because I know they're good. I never really worry about these girls right here. They already know I'm here too. They're like, what the fuck you doing here? And what I need to do here, I need a surface to work off of. right, so like I said, I always strap all my stuff down here just because it's better for the bees. So everything's strapped down right here. I'm gonna go ahead, crack this. I'm getting smoked here a little bit. Let them know I'm here. I'm pretty sure these girls aren't gonna be too thrilled either way. And they are typically. Like I said, bees, they have one interest only, everybody. And that's the benefit of the colony. If I see them as docile today, that means their numbers are a little low, which is to be expected this time of year because we're coming out of winter. So it's to be expected. Oh, and these girls, they're good size. So these girls right here, like I said, these are Africanized. And these girls are some badasses. I don't know what the fuck I stepped in. All right, what I got here, this is just gonna give them a little extra space right here, a little ventilation. I want to be able to lay all those strips along the top here. So it's gonna give them space, first of all, okay? It's gonna give them space, and then it'll give me a feeding platform because I will come in here later on and feed them. Let me give them just a little bit more smoke there. It's like I said, these girls are real, you might not be able to hear it, but where I'm at with bees, if you pay close attention to the buzz inside the colony, you'll know when they're ready to fucking blow up. And it's really, it can be real tedious sometimes because you'll hear the wing, you can actually hear the frequency of the wings change. It'll go from to a low hum to like a really high pitched hum, right? And that's how you know they're on edge. And I think these girls are already on edge because we're in that time of year where it's kind of eat or be eaten. And I'm probably gonna take, probably do now actually. Okay, this was the cover that I put in for the screen bottom that I was showing you guys earlier, just when it got cold. So I was able to pull it out, and now they have good ventilation. They won't go out bearding as much. They won't have to spend as much resources keeping the colony cool. So that's the benefit of having a screen bottom here in Texas, okay? Let me go ahead and get, I'm trying to see if you guys will be able to get a good shot of the bees right here. But, all right, so. Okay, so there's some bees right there. There's some of them right there, okay? They're working. I'm just gonna kind of keep them calm here. Okay? You're always looking for your queen here. You want to make sure your queen's not here. Give that a little tap, tap, tap. Okay. Remember I said you always can use other resources? Well, that's what we're gonna do right now. And we don't want to leave these bees open for too long because it is robbing season and other bees will come in and take their shit. Bees are opportunists. They will use every opportunity they can to gain resources from another colony, and they'll kill every fucking bee doing it. They don't care. They don't care. Say bees are equal opportunists. They're going to take every equal opportunity they can to rob, steal, and take resources from any other colony that's weaker than itself. Africanized specifically, they don't care if the colony is fucking 10 times its size. They'll still take it on. Africanized bees do not give a shit. They'll go in and rob your entire fucking yard out. They don't care. They don't care. Bees don't give a shit. Like I said, their main focus is the survival of the colony, survival of the species, right? And I'm gonna take these strips right here. I'm gonna lay them across the top right here. This is gonna be their food. So now they got food right now. So we got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 frames of bees, which is to be expected this time of year again. So I'm gonna go ahead and feed them. Give them some pollen. Like I said, we don't want to leave this open too long right now because this is robbing season. Like I said, all bees are looking for free resources and they don't care. And these bees are pretty calm today, so this lets me know that the numbers are pretty weak. Like I said, once I get some food on them here. Get them fed real good. Said numbers are small, so they're not going to sting too much, and I expect that. Like I said, when I've seen these bees at their full capacity, when this box is full of bees, shit, you don't want any part of it. You don't want any part of these girls. I'll bring you guys out here on a day when they're full, when they got their full numbers, and I'll show you exactly why Africanized bees kill people. I'll show you exactly why. And I'll show you exactly how. I'm not going to do it myself, but I'll show you why and how they do it. They do it in a brute force attack. The drones, the males in bee colonies don't sting. I want everybody to know that, okay? If you see a drone, and the drones have big ass eyes on them, all right? The girls come with, the girls have the small abdomen on them, okay? They have a small butt. And the queen, she got the big old badunkadunk, okay? So the queen, she's got full reign of the hive, okay? She gets groomed, she gets cleaned. It's almost like Catherine Crick. She's like the queen of her 5F cult, right? Well, the queen in the colony, she's kind of the queen of the bee cult, okay? She gets taken care of, she gets fed, she gets groomed. Everything is done for the better of the queen. That's all they do. It's for the better of the queen. They bring her food, they groom her, feed her, everything. Bathe her. But the queen is also on a selection process too. They got to remember that, okay? The bees will kill her if she's not doing her job. The bees will kill her. They'll what they'll do is they mark her. It's that easy. They'll mark her. And then all they do, once they do, is they just go about killing her. That's it. Let's see, I need to clean that front door off right there. They'll send out like and it's a collective effort. It's a collective effort. Once the decision's made to off the queen, they off with the queen. That's it. There is no second guess. There is no second decision. Once the decision's made in a colony of bees, it's made. There is no changing the decision. And they do it as a collective, everybody. That's something that's, I think, really important to kind of notice here on the channel too, right? Is imagine if we all started making decisions as one whole unit, right? As a whole country. Right? We all started making the right decisions as a collective, right? For the better of the species, not for the better of the person, not for the better of myself, but for the species, right? For the better of mankind. That's how bees do it. Pay attention to bees, man. You'll learn a lot. These girls have one mission in life, and that is to better the species, the flourishing of the species. That's all they care about. These bees, at the end of the day, the bees that you see here, you know what they want to do? They want to visit 1 million flowers in their lifetime. Will it ever happen? Probably not, because their lifespan's only about 40 days. Probably never happen. You know what I'm doing here? It looks like there's some robbers coming down there. That's all right. I think I'm going to take that bottom feeder out. Yeah, I'm going to leave that bottom board in. I'll leave that in for now. I'm not ready to take that out. All right, so that's good. They're not doing too bad. That colony, they're going to do fine. Gave them some more resources to work on. I'll bring them out more later. I actually probably need to get some more frames from my mentor. So that's that. And yeah, that's the Africanized colony. Like I said, they're small right now, so they're not going to show their true numbers. They're getting there. They're getting there, but they're pretty small still. These girls, man, fuck, when they get big, yeah, good luck. Good luck. Yeah, I see some of the stuff caught on fire right here. That's what you don't want. It's all right though. Let's let it burn out real quick. A little bit of cedar. All right, so that's that. So let me go ahead and get this bad boy strapped back down. You guys kind of I'm pretty sure that was a get rid of this orange strap. This one's a little too long here. Now another thing, bees are oriented to their box by the sun. So if anybody ever wonders how good bees can see, they do everything in the dark, first of all, okay? Everything's pretty much done in the dark. Their GPS is fucking way better than ours. Okay, you see this little hole right here in the front? This little hole right here, they hit that hole from 5 miles. And all they use is the sun. David's all, the only hole I can hit is a fucking donut hole. And he's all, that's after I stick my tongue in it. David's all, I'll hit a hole from 5 miles, a donut hole. David's all, God, why is that fucking pussy Rich Holmes always got to crack on me? That's some bullshit, everybody. He's like, Rich Holmes, you a pussy. You a pussy, Rich Holmes. So yeah, bees, sorry guys, I had to crack a joke there on David. Bees, their sense of location is top notch, man. Like I said, they align their they got those little ions and shit in their head that they align with the magnetic north and whoop. That. Okay, there we go. All right, cool. All right, there we go. Now I'm out here. Do a little bit of bee yard cleanup here. Pull some of these weeds up right here. You don't want weeds in your yard. It just creates a barrier for pests. The way I have my yard set up here, this is how my mentor taught me to do it, is put them up on some, got some T-posts, 4-foot T-post right here. And then I ran some, what is it? I think it's a 1/2 inch galvanized maybe. 1/2 inch or 3/4, I can't remember. It might be 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch galvanized. You got 6 U-bolts. And those were also, I think, 1/2 inch too. 3/8, can't remember. But anyways. I got a weed buried down. This was going to be a garden at one time. And I started doing bees as like bee yard. So I'll have to redo the garden. But I got a spot for that already. Okay. So there's the bees right there. Check them out. Look at that one right there at the front door. That's your guard right there. See her? Look, check it out. Bees are fucking awesome, man. Watch. Watch. You'll have guards. There's a guard inside the door right there checking bees as they come in. See? See her poke her head out? She's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm coming out to do this pollen, okay? See him? Checking as they come in. Look at that. So this is my Africanized colony right here. Doing all right. Coming out of season, which is for them to be slow like this time of year, it's expected. It's February, going into March. Technically still in a dearth right now, so dearth means no food. So, I mean, if you look around, usually I gotta wait. There's a plant outside that I always wait to bloom, and that lets me know that it's time for spring, and the algeritas haven't bloomed yet here in Texas. So that's what I'm waiting on, is the algeritas to bloom. They haven't bloomed yet, so I think we still have a few more weeks before we get our pollen push, and we'll see how they do this year. I don't know if I was saying earlier, but for beekeeping in Texas, it's a real fast push for resources when it happens. When we get good blooms here, it's really fucking beautiful, right? And it's when we get the good blooms like that, and the pollen push and the nectar push, it's really neat to see the bees and they come in like stacks full of pollen on their legs, you know, crash landing into the doors and stuff. That's a good bee season. But right now, man, we need water. Everything I'm looking at in my yard right now, it's all fucking dry. So hopefully, you know, the Gulf gets some water and shoots it up here where we're at, and more pollen pushes out, and we'll have a good bee season this year. But right now, it's been tough beekeeping in Texas, not gonna bullshit. So if you're thinking about beekeeping in Texas, let me know. I'll talk to you about it. It's not the easiest thing, but it can be done. It can be done. I mean, right now I just put supplemental feed on my bees because they don't have any food. So with that being said, man, thanks everybody for tuning in. I hope everybody enjoyed this video of the bee yard. I'll try and do some more bee yard videos. And yeah, I have a bee channel, but I might do it here just to mess with the algorithm. Just to fuck with the algorithm a little bit. So, all right, but that's that. Y'all have a good day, man. Thanks for tuning in, and maybe do a live later, so watch for that. Y'all have a good day, man. See ya.